Hello and welcome to Solutions Review Explores. I'm Jonathan Paula. In earlier episodes, we looked at the fundamentals of identity management by examining three subcategories: privileged access management, biometric authentication, and identity governance. Ultimately, all three of these boil down to the same lesson for enterprises. You need to protect the identities of your users at all times. Today, however, we're going to take a look back at identity management and examine its origins and evolution as enterprises and consumers become increasingly connected and new compliance mandates are put into effect. Of course, for a full history of IAM, we could go back all the way to the earliest days of identification before computers became an essential part of everyday business processes. However, we'll keep this history focused more on the digital realm. As might be expected, the precursor of digital IAM were passwords. In the 1960s, Fernando Corbato introduced the first use of identity and passwords to secure computer files. This technology laid the foundation for the earliest IAM solutions, which enterprises deployed to their corporate networks in the 1980s. With the start of the internet in 1984, enterprises could largely trust their passwords to secure their on-premise databases. Then came the dawning of the commercial internet era in the late 1990s. Enterprises discovered their web applications allowed access to outside users, requiring more control over their digital assets. As a direct result, many enterprises began organically developing their own identity solutions to handle their particular access management needs. Small businesses might use emails and spreadsheets to control permissions, but larger enterprises already saw the value of automating their initial identity entitlements. However, even these more sophisticated early solutions struggled with the offboarding process and with lateral employee movements within the enterprise. Then in 2002, Congress passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. This compliance mandate not only protects shareholders and the public from fraudulent enterprise practices, it also held public companies liable for their employee access controls. The first generation of true IAM solutions swiftly followed this pivotal compliance legislation. These included smaller providers like Access 360 and BMC, as well as larger companies such as CA Technologies, IBM, SailPoint, and Oracle. And not a moment too soon, as within a few years came the first publicly disclosed data breaches. AOL in 2004, and Card System Solutions, Bank of America, and Citigroup in 2005 became some of the first big data breaches of the modern cybersecurity era. Before this, breaches occurred manually. Even the significant TRW Information Systems breach occurred because the password was stolen from a physical note in a physical office. Since then, identity management has grown and evolved to accommodate the ever-growing number of users on the web and new enterprise environments. The first managed identity services appeared in 2006, and the first identity as a service cloud appeared in 2010. As the digital perimeter becomes increasingly porous and more enterprises migrate to the cloud, these services will become more important than ever. If you'd like additional information on this topic, click the link below to download our free comprehensive buyer's guide, available exclusively at solutionsreview.com. In the meantime, you can click or tap the icons on screen to watch related content and subscribe for future videos. My name is Jonathan Paula. Thanks for watching.